Explicit content warning. Easily offensive contains subject matter unsuitable for anyone under the age of 18. Every episode is meant to be taken as satire, and we do not condone racism, bigotry, or acts of violence. Thank you for listening to the Easily Offensive podcast.
Dad, we got you a gift, and we wrapped it, and we're all excited about it. And Dad literally, and I'm not exaggerating, he goes, "Ooh, a Harley blanket," and walks off.
Welcome to the Easily Offensive podcast. If you're out there and you are easily offended, now's your time to leave.
Hello, friends. Welcome back to the Easily Offensive podcast. We're going to get right to it today. Blake was pretty adamant before we were talking. He just wants to start out with his opinion on why white people should be able to use the N-word. So go ahead, Blake.
Dude, you and this blindsiding bullshit.
I
usually
agree.
get Gavin with that, and then it's funny. But when you do it to me, it's not good.
Well, he's not here.
Yeah,
I'm not going to do it to Dad. It's his first time.
yeah. Gavin got COVID when it's not even cool anymore.
I know. That's
Yeah,
so
when you get-
2019.
when you don't get paid for it.
Everybody's over it.
Well, and then he got it when he's on vacation.
Yeah, which is a stupid time to get it too. You want to do it right as soon as you get back to work. Yeah,
Next thing we know, he'll change his pronouns.
I don't think he's ever figured him out.
Yeah, maybe not.
I know him. Gnome and elf.
That's probably right.
Well, guys, we are back. Obviously, Dylan's here with us, and that is a forever thing until he dies.
Until he dies. You
All
think
the way
he's gonna
till
die
death.
first?
Out of the group, it's going to be me.
Yeah,
I don't
clearly.
know. Have you ever seen any tall giants? Like
Uh,
really, really tall old people?
Yeah, you said tall giants, and usually, yeah.
I meant old. Old giants.
you ever
God
seen any
damn it,
tall-
I am the new Gavin.
You ever seen any
Shit.
tall giants?
You're just on the side of the
Almost every
spectrum.
one of them.
You ever seen any 6 foot tall people?
Oh my!
Have you ever seen any old giants?
No,
No.
Like,
not typically.
have you ever seen an old man my height?
No, but I think they're...
know
That's
what?
because I'm 78% through my lifespan already. Well,
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's pretty old. He's still kicking.
how old is he?
Yeah,
We would look that up.
Yeah,
but
we would.
Oh, yeah. We didn't have a long enough internet cord.
Yeah, well...
So
we're in the
we're-
new studio. Well, new...
the new old studio,
Yeah.
and Zach did a really good job of getting it set up in like 45 minutes, except he forgot the internet thing.
Yeah, and I had, a full week to get
Yeah, you had a full week.
a full week of literally just the internet.
That's
because
the real problem, is that you had all this time.
That's why I forgot.
Yeah.
Oh, he's 76.
Yeah, he's
See,
old.
that's-
He's actually just had recent health problems, but that's besides the point. He's
That's
still
because
alive.
he's at the end.
This goes back to my procrastination on editing too. Oh, I've got all week to edit,
Yeah.
and then I'm late.
But luckily, he started receiving kickback from listeners finally. Like, our criticism didn't matter.
All right,
But
we
when
got
he's-
listeners.
Yeah. But once they started saying, like, hey, it's cool when an episode comes out every 2 or 3 weeks, then he got a little kick in the pants there.
Should we
kinda
introduce
hurt.
Dad?
Yeah, we can do that.
All right. Well,
that's
me
what
and
you
Blake came out of his beanbag. So without this guy, easily offensive wouldn't even be a thing, really. Not what it is
No,
today.
for sure. It wouldn't have made it.
No, not at all.
But no, yeah.
Happy to do my part.
yeah.
Well, I'm
Gavin-
sure you were happy to do your part.
Yes.
it just worked out. Like, we didn't plan on Gavin getting a virus just to replace him immediately.
Sometimes you just get lucky.
Yeah, we did get lucky. We got
Well,
Gavin-
we did have a plan to hook up 5 mics and five headsets, and
yeah, we had a plan, but Gavin getting COVID is better.
It was more
Agreed.
convenient.
Yeah, no, it's more
I mean,
convenient.
if
Think
we're
he'll
being
die from
honest.
Yeah.
If he died from it, that'd be the most convenient.
Like, Dad, we need you again.
That's a lot of problems ended right there.
so
Ow, sorry.
Oh shit! Back to back.
As we were saying, the podcast would be nothing without us, and then we smash our faces collectively.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, so like Dylan and Blake said, we got their dad on the podcast.
Which is, besides Dylan, our first guest ever.
Yep.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Very
Dylan started
nice.
out as a guest and then became a regular fill-in. And now, like we said last week, Dylan is the new regular. And Trevor will be here occasionally, but just as it works out in his life. But, yeah, so really, because Dylan became a permanent role, you technically are the first guest ever because he became normal.
And,
got
and the oldest.
The oldest, yeah. But
Well, before we made him a permanent thing, he had about as many appearances on our podcast as you have had on the Jeff and Greg.
I was getting close.
yeah,
I
he
think.
was getting up there. I don't know about as many, but
Yeah,
I
you
was
went
getting
on
up
that
there.
a lot.
Well, I mean, comparatively, like,
yeah, comparatively, like, yeah, relative to how many episodes we have, probably more. But
yeah.
I'm up to 19 with.
oh, I
with
don't think
them.
I'm
Yeah.
at 19.
No, you're probably like 6 or 7.
That's 6 or 7. Don't fucking break shit.
Did you hear that? That was
Yeah.
weird.
It was a nice little crack.
But yeah, but he made a nice place for himself in the podcast. So I'm glad that he's
Yeah, I'm
regular
happy
now.
to be here.
Yeah.
This is cool.
Well, that was it was
Well, my first official permanent podcast. That was very polite.
That's why this is so different, like right up front, because this is your first one as a regular.
Well, and then we moved back to the old studio.
Moved back to the old studio.
And then Dad lives in Vegas, so this is gonna be a rare occasion
yeah. Yep.
that we get to have.
so we
Dad
had
on
to
here,
seize
so.
the opportunity.
So I have a couple questions for you, Dad.
All right.
First of
kinda-
all, for the guys all listening and the girls all listening, what's your name?
My name is Eric.
Eric. Okay. Well, I'm just gonna call you Dad for the podcast because
Everybody always
really
does.
well.
I've got a question that was actually posed to you from Gavin, who can't make it today, and his question is, growing up in your time and everything, there was a lot of people wanted to be porn stars. Was that an aspiration that you had?
Well,
What a stupid question.
Probably wouldn't have been opposed.
it probably wouldn't have been opposed to it, although I would have come up a little short. Back then, it was the rule of 8s.
Oh, damn
So
it!
he researched it, is what he's saying.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, living in the town of Zillow, Washington, that I did, it wasn't big aspirations for you to run out and be a porn star. In fact, back then, the only porn you ever really saw was HBO, and it was, you might see a tip. You know,
Yeah.
Oh,
And-
the late night
Skinamax.
Skinamax.
or
Yeah.
Skinamax or something, and generally it was we didn't have enough money to afford those, so all you got was the blurry vision of it, and every now and then you got a blip.
It's like,
And
oh,
there
I
was
think
a-
that was an
I
ankle.
think that was a nipple. Right, that was a nipple.
God, and that was
So,
it.
or you got in your dad's stash of porno,
Right.
Playboy, Penthouse showed a little more.
Did you have one of those to go to? Did you have
Oh.
like a
Oh yeah, I had a short stack.
short stack?
Well, and then of course I had the
Grandpa
classic-
died early. Everyone.
So
Yo.
That's
so I
where
had
that
the-
question came from.
So the you had the classic Farrah Fawcett,
Right. Yeah.
poster on the wall, and all of the Charlie's Angels, and from the TV series, not the movie, but
Right. Yeah.
first runs. We're not talking the ones that you can buy now off the internet,
Right.
But these were real people that you aspired to be with.
Yeah. You really
Got a
aspire-
glimpse of the pretty gals on the moving pictures, did we, Dad?
Well, I guess what
Yeah, exactly.
I guess what my question was is like, where was your access to it? Like you said, your dad's porno stash, which, by the way, I looked for many hours and could never
Well, the funny thing was that we bought you your own. So
bought me my own.
yeah.
Well,
You
Uncle
don't
Nate's
remember
was
that?
easy to find.
Nate's
so.
was easier. Yeah.
Nate's was way easy to find. That was no problem at all. Well, I guess what my question
didn't
was is
have
like,
a porno
no,
stash.
you didn't have. No, I know that. I looked. I would have found it.
Trust me, I would have known.
I remember one time, if you'd have been outside the house, upstairs, like anywhere in the vicinity, you would have heard some shuffling downstairs for hours, and then just me go, just just fuck. Where is it?
Right.
And
He
then
got through all the modern home and the wood magazines.
yeah, I'm
and
like. Eventually, I stopped.
It's got to be hiding in one of
hot
these.
rod.
Eventually, I stopped even putting it back to look like I hadn't
you
touched
hadn't
it. I'm
been
like,
there.
this is fucking
You know
bullshit.
what? Fuck it. Maybe he'll think I was trying to DIY a linen closet,
Yeah.
but
That's how it.
I'm
that's
harder
how-
than Chinese algebra, and I don't want to stack magazines back.
I think at one point you guys came in there and I was reading those like hot rod comics. Where'd you find those? Oh, I just came across them.
Not in the way I intended.
You know, that's a dangerous thing to look for Dad's porno stash.
Is it dangerous?
Yes,
Why is that?
because when you find it, it might not just be the girls from the TV shows.
I see what you're saying.
That could be.
Could be some
like-
Polaroids in there.
My dads were all black.
And I'm not speaking from experience, even though I 100% am.
Oh no! Did you?
Yes.
Oh, you saw pictures of your mom?
Yeah.
Oh boy!
Yeah.
That'll ruin you.
That would have been so hard to beat off to.
It was extremely hard to the point it didn't happen.
Oh, well, that's good.
That's a that's a hard wink.
That's one you're not very proud of.
That's what my dad said
He's
to
like,
me.
hey, that's what I. That's all I got to work with.
No, see, then,
Tit's a tit.
yeah.
Well, Gavin's question actually worked out into more than I thought it would. I
Right,
saw
right.
that on Polo, and I was like, "What a fucking idiot!" Most of the things that he says, I
wonder what he would have opposed by now.
Yeah, he would have had something.
To oppose.
Yeah.
Not necessarily, guy. Not necessarily.
The thing about that
The
is,
thing about that is,
No, I'm pretty sure.
what do you mean?
What do you mean?
so where did you find your first stack of pornos?
Like the interview
Wow, the
starts.
first.
The first stack. Yeah, where'd you find it?
Well,
'Cause you brought
back
it
in,
up.
back in the day, there was this area down over a bluff
Okay.
outside of the city limits
Mm-hmm.
of Zilla, Washington. Right
Right.
down below there was like people had thrown their trash out there for years.
This is so far the most late 70s story I've ever heard. in my
Right,
life.
right, exactly. Well, this would be the late 70s, late 70s for sure.
Yeah.
We would go down there and there's trees growing up all around. It's just like a jungle with old garbage out there. And every now and then you'd find a Playboy, Hustler, whatever in it.
Yeah.
And then we found a cabinet down there. I say we. I had a best friend named Ron Rector, and Brian Mears. We hung around all the time together, and we found this spot, found the old cabinet, started stashing them in there. We had probably 8 or 9
Oh wow.
that were decent.
That's
You had
pretty
to-
good.
You had to slowly pull the pages
Yeah.
apart because there's some stickers, you know.
Stickers. That's
Number-
what they call
because
it.
of the rain.
The page, yeah, I'm sure it was the rain and
Yeah.
the weather, yeah.
100%.
Eventually
That's
just
cool.
had to say
See?
goodbye to page 54.
That's one story I've never heard.
No, you
No,
would
that-
have probably not ever heard that one.
Yeah.
that's cool.
Oh, it's funny what this will bring out of you.
Right,
sometimes. Yeah.
With,
Yeah.
with
It brings out weird things.
It does. Yeah.
It does, and
And
that's
for
cool.
whatever reason, it makes you feel motivated to do so, and then later on is when you start
the regret.
the regret of
Yeah.
what you made.
Like, oh, should I have said that?
It starts to fade with time.
right.
You
right.
start to realize like, whatever. Everybody has their stories. But that's interesting. That's funny. My first finds ever were definitely Uncle Nate's.
Yeah.
And he-
Well, they were always out. I mean, they were like in the magazine tray next to his chair. I mean, it
No,
wasn't that
not
too hard.
not really, not really.
Not
When
the
we
good
were-
ones.
He got slick to me and Cody pretty quick.
Right.
Like we never found any like just right there.
oh, really?
Like you're talking, they had a closet downstairs that went under the stairs. You know?
Right, right.
And there was a box in there that was behind some stuff. You know?
Oh, okay. So
And-
that's where he hid them.
And I mean, like he had so much. Like I can't believe we didn't steal any because we thought he'd figure out one or two was missing. There was no way.
Yeah,
Because
he
there
would
was-
have.
Well, I think he had monthly subscriptions.
He did up until a point, for sure. I mean, we had stuff.
Yeah, until 1998.
We had 20 years worth of them,
right,
know.
right.
And we found the one under the closet, and we went back to that several times. And then I remember when we went back to it, and it was moved, and we are like, God damn it, like what?
He knew.
What do we?
What
do?
are we gonna do now?
Like that was,
Funny thing is, he probably wouldn't care if he knew.
yeah, probably not. But it was crazy how fast we found them again. But they were out in the garage, up in the attic.
Oh,
But it's it was really impressive how
actually
fast we
look.
located them.
when he moved him, huh?
I was like,
Well, when you
Well-
want to find some titties, you find some
you
titties.
find them, and we went up there, and we are like, well, this is convenient because now we don't even have to sneak them off somewhere else.
Yeah, just sit up here. This is awesome.
No
No matter
we
that
weren't
it's
jerking
December.
off in front of each other. I want to just but
I don't believe you.
Yeah, no weird shit.
no weird shit. We were just looking at them. I mean, for
future reference,
for the while, for
Yeah.
the time being,
put him away for the spank bank
Yeah,
later.
right. Yeah. But that was our first access. Oh, and then the little trucker titty calendars. Those were.
Oh yeah.
Oh
That's
yeah,
what
he
it
always
was.
had one of those in his vehicle.
I think the biggest find I had was in that stash I found was a DVD of video, because at the time the internet was a thing, but go into a website, it would still took a long time, so you downloaded everything and
Sure, yeah.
but I put it on a DVD, and it was really well made. It had like a main menu and like a
shit.
scene selector for every video.
Oh, just
wow,
like
high
all
class.
the wow.
Dude, that reminds me of the funniest thing ever that me and Tyler found.
What was that?
Because when you guys were a year and a half, 2 years older than us, Cody and Blake were older than Tyler and I. Cody and Tyler are brothers. They're our cousins. And so we eventually started snooping around in your guys' shit
Uh-huh.
when you guys were gone doing stuff.
Okay. Yeah.
And Cody was probably our biggest victim because Cody got into thises and that's, and it was like, let's go fucking nail him for everything.
This isn't that.
like we're getting some blackmail on this fucker because he tortured us when we were little. So anyway, but Tyler was like so afraid. He didn't want Cody to know that we were snooping through his shit.
Cody would have whooped his ass.
Yeah, he would have kicked his ass. I was home free. I had left every night. It's like I'm good. I don't care.
Yeah.
So we were snooping through Cody's shit, and we found a porno DVD. And it wasn't that we found a porno DVD. That was fine. But I still remember the title of it to this day because it was called Sucking Cock and Paying My Bills. And I laughed so fucking hard when we found that. And Tyler was like, hey, put it
Episode
back,
name.
put it back. We got to get out of here. And so for the next, couple of weeks, Cody would be in the room doing something, and me and Tyler would be there. And I would say, Tyler, you know what I could really go for right now? And he's like, what? And I'm like, some sucking cock and paying my bills. And he'd look at Cody and be like, shut the fuck up. I don't know. I just feel like some sucking cock and paying my bills. And I just dropped shit like that. And Cody never even blinked at it, right? No idea.
It's like, oh, that's funny.
He probably even never read the title to the fucking thing. But I always thought, and dude, still to this day, I was at work the other day and I was like, you know what I can really go for? Some sucking cock and paying my bills.
Dude, that's crazy.
the title they landed on. It's so direct.
Oh, man, I used to go through the DirecTV, when you go down far enough, Dish Network, whatever, on the guide.
This lucky kid growing up had Dish TV.
Yeah.
I had cable.
We had cable, and then at a certain point when we were older, and I went down, I figured you go to the deep channels, right? And I knew to not click on it or order any of it because it was going to show up on the bill. I would be busted immediately. But my favorite thing, just for a giggle, was to just go and read the titles.
They'd be like, yeah, like hot tub booby vacation.
Yeah, or it's like my favorite
Like
was
just
like
a bunch of stuff that sounds nice.
yeah. Well, one was like black dicks, white chicks, 9. You know,
Yeah, they weren't ever like, you're like,
it wasn't discreet at all. I'm like, it just
not really
right
any
there.
Shakespearean sounding shit.
No,
Right.
But like for it to be like, I mean, it's a satellite TV subscription, so I guess they didn't technically have to send, but it was just out there, like
Right.
just banging puss 69. You know, like, eat my snatch. And it just, and I would just sit there and laugh like that.
Guinevere's butthole.
This is before Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, because I would just read that shit and laugh.
Right.
Oh, that's when the scrolling addiction started.
That's when scrolling started.
Yeah.
Bro, that is the OG scroller right
And
there.
it never, without fail, every time you did it, there was new shit.
Right.
And it was always funny.
Well, if they make 9 sequels to 9 processions to Black Dicks, White Chicks,
Yeah.
you know there's 8, 7, 6.
Oh, yeah.
And they're working on 10.
They're working on
Yeah.
There was a lot of,
Oh, I guarantee they're working on
Oh,
more
yeah.
than just 10. They're on,
Right,
like,
right.
and at a certain point, I was like, man, what if I just found the least dirty sounding one? You know, like I was like, would they absolutely catch $5? You know,
For sure.
like, and that looking back, there's no way.
Looking,
No, they would not have caught it. I don't think
well-
you guys would have caught it. You didn't look at the bill ever.
I have never seen a bill.
No. Mom paid the bills, and I don't think she would have been looking at itemized things, you know.
Right.
Chances are
Where's
they were
this $5 from?
They were yeah, what's this $5 from? You're like,
Last month,
and she
it
would have
was
called you and been
90,
like, I
and now
don't
it's
fucking
95.
know. Just whatever.
Just
if it was
pay it.
$5, if it was $120, it would have been
Yeah.
different. So like I wish I could go back to my 13-year-old self now and just say, just do it.
Yeah, I'd be going 120. Blake's got a problem.
like $5 adds up when you do it.
I would be
20
like,
times.
it was not a problem, it was a solution.
It was a solution. Took that problem by the hand. Oh,
when we finally got Dish at my house when I was 15, which I mean, I guess that's still like a kid.
Yeah, you're still a kid.
But at that time, I wasn't really watching much TV anymore. I was always out with friends doing stupid shit like breaking my fucking arm, snowboarding, or
Right.
motorcycles, all that stuff. Because at that time, I was like, yeah. Even then, I wasn't even into video games all that much. That was a later thing. But my dad was a budgeter.
So he was watching shit like that.
Yes.
Okay.
And so, yes, I did get caught.
Oh, no. What did you do?
I bought a...
Oh, you bought a porn?
Yeah, it was $5. It was like $9.
It's like, what's Jamal's heavy hammer?
Well, see, the thing is I didn't know it gave you like itemized stuff like that, and I'm like, oh, it's $9. He's not going to recognize it like
Like
an extra
$9
$9. Well, you know what? The bill came in. He's like, why is my bill $9 more than was last month?
Immediately
shit.
noticed.
Immediately, and so then he had to get the itemized report, and he's like, huh, I didn't order that.
He's like, I'm gonna now, but
Well,
I
no,
didn't
so
order it this time.
So that's what happens is so when you pay for those, you get them. It's like it saves to the DVR on the dish, so you can access it.
Oh, so you
Anytime.
like own it?
Yeah.
Oh, well,
And
that's
so
convenient.
my dad approached me, talked to me about it, and he's like, I don't care that you do this kind of like you watch this because let's face it, every kid does it, every
Right.
boy does it.
Yeah.
He's like, what I do care about is that you didn't ask me to spend the $9. You just did it. So you don't get to watch this anymore, and I'm locking it for myself. I was like, oh, okay, fair.
Like, did you say, Dad, you fucking pervert?
It's so funny because you get stuff like that and you just look at it over and over and over again. You know,
And
because
see,
it was like limited. You had a limited amount of stuff.
right.
Well,
Yeah.
and I remember exactly which one I bought, too.
Yeah.
It's where she fell in love
Mm-hmm.
with my favorite, still to this day, favorite porn star.
Which one?
Her name is, I guess her porn name
Uh-huh.
is Jennifer White.
Jennifer White.
Yes, and it was a 50-guy gangbang.
Shit.
Where she,
dude.
God,
Yeah.
he went to the top shelf.
God.
Well, I was like,
That was the That's the first one you bought?
Did your dad realize in that moment how like fucked up you are?
Well, no.
So that was how gentle his talk after you purchased a 50-man gangbang?
Like,
Yeah.
most kids would start out with big tits,
That's
right? Like,
you
he
think I
goes to-
started when I was 15?
No, but like that's okay.
Okay.
So you were very selective about what you bought. You were like, I need to get exactly what I want.
Well, because it was like
and I want to see a 10-mile long train.
Well, the thing was like
I
I
just
have
want to see
seen
the floor
clips of
covered in
this.
cum.
I've seen the clips of this online and can never find the full thing.
Oh, really?
So I want to watch the full thing.
So you're still looking for it?
Funny.
It's your Zach
No,
White
no,
whale.
like, no. I'm serious. Like you're looking for the old.
Well, no, because I bought it, so I got the full
Right. Yeah.
thing. Well, now I've seen the full thing. It's,
Oh, okay.
It's
All right.
readily
I
available.
thought you were
and easy
like,
to find
Oh,
now.
Look,
yeah,
I
we
thought you
thought
were
we were in the
looking for-
present.
Oh no,
We thought you were like telling us this is my white whale I've spent years.
No,
so
no,
at
I've-
the time
I've-
you
I've-
were looking for.
the
Call
full
me
thing
Ishmael.
online. I could never find it, and the few places I went
It's
to,
like I've
actually
torn all my
find it,
hair out looking for this thing.
Gave the computer AIDS.
AIDS.
It gave
You
the
gave
computer
the
AIDS.
computer AIDS. Yeah.
And by that time, I was.
Somebody got AIDS during that video.
Well, they were all clean, I'm sure. But what's that one dude, fat white guy with the big dick who's
Ron
Ron
Jeremy.
Jeremy. He's in it, right? He's
Oh.
not part of the. He's like he interviews the girl while she's getting fucked, and
Damn. That'd be
Yeah.
something.
I think maybe we should look into therapy for you.
I don't go and watch it like every day. Like this is my thing, but it was my. Well, I've wanted to see that one, and he noticed.
he noticed.
He noticed the $5 or $9 charge or whatever it was,
It's like
So-
or maybe it was more than $9.
I'm not mad because every boy your age looks up 50 on one gangbangs, but
Yeah.
Well,
Dad,
it wasn't like
but you
50
spent
at a time.
$9. Well, I know it's not 50 at a time.
It was one at a time, and just
I know how things work.
if you would have caught me or Dylan with that, right? Would you approach the conversation differently if the one that you had found was just big titties, and then the or if it was 50 guy gangbang?
I don't know that. I don't know how I would have.
The other one was
Approach
bloodletting.
What now?
Yeah,
You
I
guys
don't-
make it seem like it's a huge deal.
I mean, that's just a little on the
It just at that age to be like
15.
already-
You're like, I'm
Well,
going to
I
sneak
think-
by a porno.
I think you're
Let's
being a
get
little
50
judgmental
dicks
there.
in on that.
well, I had.
I'm just
It
saying.
was.
I'm just saying. At that age, for the risk you were taking,
The
that
thing was, is
is-
the title. The
that's
title
the
was
wild
like,
part,
See,
yeah.
the thing for me is like even if he sees the price, the title was Jennifer Goes for the Record. That's what it said.
Okay, so that's not
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
All right, I get that. No, what we're saying is like you now, like at this age, it's like not surprising, like your
Oh, that's-
perversions,
that's
right?
funny.
At 15, though, to like
Maybe
have,
that's when they surfaced. All right.
to have like an advanced figure out of.
I can only come if it's on my wife's side of the
Yeah.
bed.
I just feel like if you would have talked to us about that, like maybe it's hard to like visualize now. I feel like the type of movie would have maybe changed the conversation a little bit.
I think
Possibly.
so.
He didn't look into it until probably after, and then after he like looked at it and seen it, he's like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna."
He's like,
He's like,
like,
well,
so you
good
wanted
hell.
to
I guess
see-
I'm into it too.
you wanted to see one favorite porn star and then a mile of dick.
Just having her railed over and over.
Yeah, that's like
Because you like
that's
variety.
like 50 times more gay than it is straight.
Well, yeah, maybe
like
just a little bit.
One chick
Maybe I didn't buy it for her. Maybe it was
and
all the dudes.
50 dudes. Just balls a slapping.
He's like checking the cast, make sure the guys that he wants is there.
That's what it really was.
Did we
It's
talk
like,
about porn names? And if we have them
like our porn
I
names?
think,
Yeah.
yeah, we have.
on the
I
podcast?
don't think so.
Really? Okay, well,
Do you
Dylan's
have
got
one?
one prepared.
No, I don't.
You don't have one,
No,
Dad?
Frankie Friction.
No.
If
Frankie
Dad,
Friction?
if Zach had a porn name, it would be Sorry.
Oops.
No, it'd be, I called 49 of my friends.
Listen,
Listen,
I know how to get 49 friends. Oh,
he always says that when you got him.
Listen.
Because then I say the listen, and I don't follow it up with anything. Like, don't have anything to follow it up with.
Listen.
I had to say something, God damn it. Listen.
you jump off and say, "I win." you were too slow.
First place.
Just pretend it's a race every time.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Frankie Friction. I'm going to go with that one.
Frankie Friction.
Is that off the top of the dome?
Yeah.
Huh, not bad for the top of the
Dylan?
dome. Do you have one?
I don't.
You never came up
I
with
never
one?
came up with a good one. Not one.
My old one was Alfred Hugecock, which is
Actually, I think we did do this. I think
Did we?
I think
God,
you
I
were.
don't
I think
remember.
you were on the episode, and it was Trevor and you and me and Blake. Because I think we said
No Gavin?
Trevor's would be the steed.
Oh, maybe we did talk about it.
I feel like Trevor's would be like, "Oh look, I found it."
There it is.
Do you have a mirror?
Be like, they call me Push and Boop. Why? Push, boop.
That's mean. He can't even defend himself anymore.
Well, he hasn't been able to.
All right, fair point.
12 out of 15 episodes.
All right, Blake, you choose one.
Choose one. What? Oh,
Just make one
God, it's
off the rip.
off the rip. That never happens. I promise.
Choose a celebrity.
What was the? Oh, Cock Hudson. There we go.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Ah, hey.
I thought you were gonna say Andrew Luck. I'll be like Andrew Cuck.
No, I was trying to think of an old school because you had Alfred Hitchcock, so I was trying to think of like an old school celebrity.
Oh, okay.
And then Rock Hudson was the one that popped in my head, and that just
I got one.
Perfect.
I got one.
dude. I claimed that
Kevin
one.
Gash.
Ryan Rimjob.
Oh, I like it. I like it.
That's a good one. That's a good
Yeah.
one.
So
How about Rem J. McGillicuddy?
who would that be?
He can have it.
I think I want to stick with Frankie Friction.
Frankie Friction. No, that one sucks.
Why? Because I made it up.
No, it's just bad.
I have a buddy, and his is Philip Oliver Holes,
That's a good one.
or Phil Holes for short.
That's a pretty good one.
Yeah,
I like that. And we've been on the porn thing for a while.
We want to get away from
Oh,
that.
well,
Do you have,
mine's cervix Ramelot.
oh, sorry. Yeah. I feel
Now
like
we can go somewhere else.
Okay.
I
okay.
think maybe we already talked about it, but I don't remember.
Yeah.
It was. If we did, it was a.
Do you have any more
few episodes
dad
of that.
questions? Because he's here.
Yeah. So I got another one for you, Dad. How was it raising these two guys? Like, were they similar at all in raising them? I mean, they're only a year apart, 2 years apart.
Year and a half. Yeah.
So I
They-
mean, imagine not much, but
They both have their own characteristics. I mean, but raising them. Now, see, I got off easy because my wife was home all the time with them, so I was out working most of the time. But when it comes to Blake being our first, I was probably a little harder on him in the beginning as I was learning on being a parent.
Yep.
He was learning on being a well-behaved kid, and
what happened?
I don't know. Well, Dylan was born, and I had realized that I might not have to be so hard on the kid as they're growing up. And as you can tell, I probably should have been harder on the kid. But
Not him. You fucked
I
him
was
up.
I was the disciplinary. My wife was the coddler. So she would.
That ended and flipped.
That ended and flipped.
Flipped 180 at one
Yeah.
point.
At one point, and I don't know what happened. Maybe I was gone too much.
When you left and you were gone a lot, and we
Yeah.
only saw you twice a year, then you didn't want to be a disciplinarian when you got home.
that is true.
So
I didn't
you'd
want to
come
just
home,
be the bad guy.
More fun, Dad, and then Mom would have to keep us in check.
Yeah, because I was gone working quite
Yeah.
a bit of the time. Of course, in that same model, they both did very well at what they do. You know, and we let them be themselves. We didn't discipline out their characteristics. You know, we didn't. I don't know. You guys were never grounded. It wasn't something I believed
Hardly
in.
ever, yeah.
Yeah.
Lucky.
Yeah, not too much, really.
Yeah. If they were in trouble, they were in trouble. But I wasn't going to ground them, so somebody else had to be grounded with them to watch them, make sure they were being grounded.
Right.
And that was never something. So whatever it was, I didn't really ever take anything away. I just, whatever the discipline was, it was quick and it was over. If it was a stern scolding, if it was don't do that shit again, if it was, I don't believe I even spanked them after they were 6. It was just more of a, they knew that it would come if it was needed, and
Right.
it just never was needed. And so they would argue with their mom, but they would never argue with me.
That's the truth.
And
Yeah. No,
and
for sure.
yeah, it was. I gave them the chance. Let's say they were doing something that I didn't seem that they needed to be doing. I would tell them, I don't think you should be doing that. I would give them the opportunity to tell me why they thought they were being just fine.
God, I hated that.
And then I would make a decision. Most of the time, I was still right. But there was times when, shoot, yeah, you're not doing anything that,
Not a big deal.
yeah, go
Yeah.
ahead.
I don't know how you did it, but I need to delve into this more. But I remember I didn't directly disobey you hardly at all
Right.
after a certain point. And one day, this is a funny story. It was winter time. There was snow everywhere. We had a big enclosed box trailer, the white one that we called the birdhouses in. I was up on top of that, scooping the snow off of it and shit and throwing it around and stuff. Dad comes out of the house. You're going somewhere. I don't know if you remember this. Probably
Possibly
not.
not.
It was much more significant in my life than it was in yours. And you were like, Dylan, get the hell off the trailer. Do not get up on that trailer. You're going to slip off of there and hurt yourself. And I'm like, so
Bust
I
your
gra-
ass and break your neck.
So I got on the thing and slid down and onto the ground. You saw me hit the ground. You got in the truck, drove down the road. As soon as he's out of sight, and I don't know what came over me because I hardly ever did this, I got back the fuck up on the trailer. As soon as I get up on the trailer and I'm just scooping up more snow or whatever dumb shit I was doing, the truck comes in reverse back to the house. And I'm like,
Dude,
I mean, my testicles
Your boy
packed
tits?
up all
Your boy
their
tits?
shit. Yeah, the boy tits. They
Dude,
packed up all their stuff.
the feeling
They
coming
got on the
over me
elevator.
right now is overbearing.
They
Just
my testicles packed up their house, got on the elevator, went all the way up, and then went into my mouth just so that I could fucking swallow them. That's how scared I was.
it just
And the shame and fear that I felt as I slid down the trailer once more, and Dad walked by me, and you didn't say a word because you knew whatever you had to say
Didn't need to be said.
didn't need to be said. And you didn't say a word to me, and you could just see the fear in my eyes. And I'm like, I don't know how you can do that to another person, but holy shit.
you just added a gray hair to the top of my head. Like I just if I would have been standing out there watching you do that, I'd have looked at you like
He dead.
you're on your own.
It was nice having a brother for a
You're
while.
on your own. And that was the thing. Like he said, he wasn't like a dad that like was raising a hand all the time. Like he wasn't beating the shit out of us or anything. It was just like when we knew when he said something, he was serious, you know, and we just knew that without a shadow of a doubt. When he said something, he meant it. And so it wasn't like so much fear as it was respect. But
Yeah, it was a lot that.
but it was just like when you knew that you fucking blew it, like
God
you
damn
just
it, I'd do anything to get that back.
This is like he didn't hit you, but you felt like he might. And it was just like, I can't imagine doing that. I never had that, like where you.
Oh, it was direct, and
Yeah.
I still don't know. I wish I was young when it happened, but I don't know if you actually had to come back to the house or if you were just catching my ass. I have no idea.
I wouldn't know.
I have no idea. But
I would let you, instead of saying something to you, I would let you live with that.
yeah,
Because I wasn't going to let you off the hook of feeling exactly like you felt when you were doing that.
yep. And if you would have said
Very-
something, it probably would have changed it. But
It would have changed that whole feeling.
It just let you stew in it. Be like, oh boy.
well, and then you have to sit in the house. Then he went into the house, did whatever, he got back in the truck and left again. And I'm like, he's going to the hardware store. He's going to get something to kill me and bury me with.
Which is funny because I feel like the role with you and your son, Dylan, like if you would have backed in and he would have like got down off of the trailer and then you walked by, I feel like he would have been like, "Oh, I guess it's cool now."
Yeah, that's because my son is half fucking goldfish.
He just got this kind of like,
See, that's that's what frustrates me so bad is the amount of fear and respect I had for my father at the age that my son is now. And I will tell my son, like, hey, do not under any circumstances do this. And I will do it in the most dad, scary, vicious way I can. And literally 13 seconds later, I will walk into a room and he's doing exactly what I told him not to do. And he'll be like, what?
"What?"
I'm like, I'm not scary enough for some reason.
It's the voice. I always felt like it was the voice.
I don't know.
Everybody
I think
can
it's
hear
my
it right
entire
now.
personality.
He just doesn't.
It's my entire personality.
He's like, "Fuck you, Dad. I don't respect you."
Right.
That makes me nervous for when my son gets to that age because he's already. Well, and he's just at the age where he's not. You can't tell him no. He's gonna be like, "What the fuck does that mean?"
Yeah, fuck
I'm just gonna
off, dude.
fucking do it anyways.
When I was raising these two, it was the time I figured to raise them was kind of like what my mother did to my brother and I. She raised us very hard until we were about 6, 7. All the rules were laid down. You knew what the rules were. You knew what the consequences were for breaking those.
Yeah.
After that, it's just a matter of enforcing it in your actions. I mean, it was. But if you wait till they're 6 to discipline them, they've already got the ground rules. They're winning.
Yep.
Yeah, they've already dominated. Like,
Yeah, they know what they're going to get away with. They know what they're going to do. Just like if you take it from 2 and no is no, well, the third no is really, I don't want to say it ever again.
yeah. Oh yeah, you didn't. You
And
didn't
that's
get there.
that's mostly how my dad raised me too.
Yeah.
And that just might be just the time, because
Well, yeah.
I'm fairly certain you and my dad are.
I'm 57, so
Yep, that's my dad is 60, so
yeah. So same
you guys,
era. Yeah,
you
we
guys grew
came.
up the same era, and that's
Yeah,
probably the way.
we grew up drinking out of the hose and being locked outside all day, and the whole 70s
Yep.
children.
And so I was raised much that way. My mom, so my dad was strict but understanding. My mom was you step out of line and you get swatted.
Was she into 50 on one gangbangs?
I'm not answering that.
So yes.
Because
I don't
he
know.
said he found,
Listen, it was Polaroids. and
How many
I
dudes
didn't-
were in those pictures of your mom?
So I'm laughing, but I want to. I'm laughing, but I want to puke.
I want to be.
Swallow it, you're grown
I will
up.
say, when I saw those photos, I saw her face first and went, "Ah!"
Can you imagine? Oh my god.
Ugh.
Nope.
Yeah, no, me neither. No. Yeah.
No, it was scarring, and then I never ever went snooping in my parents' room ever again. Not for Christmas presents.
Probably a good call.
Nothing.
Yeah. I don't think I would have either.
In fact, I was scared.
Maybe that was a parenting technique of theirs.
That's a very different parenting technique.
Yeah.
It's funny. Yeah, now that I think about it, we would argue with Mom,
Oh yeah.
but she was unreasonable.
We would literally fuck with Mom. We'd argue
would
with her
argue
just
just
for
to
the sake
argue.
of
But
arguing.
that was-
with her.
And then she would argue back. She says, "They just want to argue with me." I said, "Well, quit arguing with them."
Do you know what was funny?
She entertained it.
Yeah.
When I got to teen age, she told me all the time what I was going to be like. And then I
Right.
felt like when I got to that age, she a lot of times might have been seeing it when it wasn't there.
Right.
I wasn't really a big controversial person,
No,
but
no.
she felt it was coming, so then it just was, And then eventually you just get used to it and you just do it.
Right.
But there was never going to be that with you. Not argue unless it was something
Oh, unless it was
not
set up to be an
disciplinary.
argument.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
That was one way my dad did it too. Is the whole well, why do you think you did wrong? Fuck, I don't like that game.
Nah, I don't
Because
either.
I know I'm going to answer and I'm going to out myself, and then
Well, the funny thing was Blake couldn't lie to save his ass. He could not. In fact, I could figure out
He still can't.
what was given to me for Christmas, and all I had to do is ask him.
God, he was such a dick like that. And every year, this is a hot button issue with me. And I would get duped every time because I would forget by the time it came around again. But this happened all the time, right around early December, late November, early December. At some point, Dad was he was a carpenter by trade, so there was a lot of runs to Home Depot and stuff. And so then going to town was like a big deal. It was an adventure, way to get out of the house, do something else.
Yeah.
And so whenever Dad was home and he needed to make a run, and we were around, he'd be like, "Hey, you want to go to Home Depot?" And every December, like a sucker, I'd be like, "Yeah," and I'd just go and hop in the truck. We go and he'd probably buy me a soda or something. We'd be driving and talking.
Okay, wait, pause.
Uh-huh.
Put a pin in that.
Yeah.
Cup your hands and hold that for a second. Just a small derail right here.
Uh-huh.
A little mental torture this fuck put us through is on road trips and trips into town and wherever the fuck you were going. He
I know what
would.
he's talking
He would
about.
always stop and he would always buy you a soda.
Yep, I
And
know.
you would want that soda so bad.
know
But
exactly.
every time you went to take a drink of it, he would hit the fucking
the brakes. That's
No,
he'd either
not the-
drown you in it or fucking make you spit it on the floor. And he would laugh and laugh and laugh. And you
That's
think that
what
he
my
would
dad
do
would
it
do.
2 or 3 times and then let you drink your goddamn pop. But no.
It was
Yeah, I've literally been on 2-hour trips just staring at this orange soda that I wish to God I could drink.
That sounds just like my dad.
That was actually my first. Well, and he had a 3-speed Chevy pickup truck with a clutch, heavy clutch, right? And so most of the time, he would always buy with Dad. It was always a treat because he gets you the big pop, right? Like the big mouth 1-liter Pepsi, right? And you put it up, and
That's
he
just so he could drown you
he'd
with
clutch
all
it,
at once.
gas it, and dump it, right?
So eventually you got to drink your pop. It was just all at one time.
By the time you got to the store, you're sitting there just defeated. And sticky, like,
I don't even fucking like pop.
there was never a napkin. Clean
just like-
yourself up. Like,
Just like Sunkiss sucks.
Yeah, Fantasy's so much better
Okay,
anyways.
our side.
and we
That
never
was-
got good at
derailed
it.
it.
Like at some point, you'd wait until I remember. Like I would wait until like he would had a cigarette and he went to, and then you're just real quick. You just look away for that second. You get a sip, cap.
Okay,
yeah,
I
no,
derailed. You're on your
no,
way to Home Depot.
as soon as you said like stop right there, I knew exactly where you were going. We're traumatized from it.
And now I watch 50 on 1 gangbangs.
Jesus Christ.
And,
Things I wish I could take
so
back.
anyway, Dad would be like, "Hey, you want to go?" And you know what's funny is for whatever reason, when it was just you and not me and Dylan, it felt extra cool. It's just me and Dad. You
Right.
know. And so we go and get me a soda, and then we're like going, and you talk and ask me about stuff, and then eventually we'd always come to a just driving kind of quietly kind of thing. We're just listening to the radio or whatever, and you just look over. So, what'd Mom get me for Christmas? I'd be like, shit.
God damn it!
Because
I thought we were having a good time. I thought he wanted to spend time with me.
He's so manipulative, and because
He honey dicked you with a Pepsi.
yeah, he was a good guesser, and so all he had to do was get kind of in the vicinity of what it was. Watch my face; it was gone. I was like,
Just watch the eyes.
I was like reading a roadmap, dude. It was like,
Can't lie, and didn't even have a decent poker face.
no.
I remember one year we just on the fly, but we were in California and we were like walking through the store. Me and Blake saw this Harley Davidson comforter blanket, and we're like, Dad would love that. And so we got him. We're like, Mom, Dad would love this. And she's like, okay, cool. Let's get it for him. So we got the thing. We bought it. We went home. We wrapped it. And I was so excited. And we put it under the tree. And Dad gets home. And we're like, Dad, we got you a gift, and we wrapped it. And we're all excited about it. And Dad literally, and I'm not exaggerating, he goes, ooh, a Harley blanket. And walks off. And we're like, how? How the fuck does he do that? Is he a wizard?
Same
we thought
thing.
you were a wizard.
This is why.
That's why we're so scared.
This is why I like having Dylan here, because he has memories that I forgot about,
Right.
and vice versa. But I remember one year when I finally got my some of my own money, I got you a big Harley mug. There was a big run of Harley shit there for a while, and
Do you ride?
I don't know when they were buying me this stuff. I don't think I did.
no, that one you didn't yet, but we always knew that you aspired to have one. That one you had.
I had one.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
so
it's
I do right.
Okay.
and
Fuck that
wonder
guy.
what these guys are up to.
They're probably in the middle of the podcast.
Yeah, I'm sure they are, but we're in the middle of our own shit right now.
I know it's 7:40.
If
They're
he
probably not
calls,
started
if he
yet.
calls again in a second, I'll answer it. But so I got him this big Harley mug, and I didn't really think he'd use it. He's always has his type of coffee mug, but I just thought it'd be a cool shelf thing or something. And it came in the box that it comes in, and I wrapped it all carefully and stuff. And I mean, he picked it up and turned it, so it is the handle on one side. He picked it up, turned it, so it went to thump. And it was like, oh, a mug, cool. And I was like, dude, you really take the fun out of shit,
And then not only that, but he put rocks and pine cones and shit in our presents.
So you had no idea.
We'd think it was something jingly jangly, and it's like,
I remember I took a page out of his book one year. I got you a bunch of model motorcycles, and I got the biggest box I could find, and I filled it with rocks.
oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, it was
And,
big and heavy, and it was.
And I got him a couple of cool little things, and then I got this huge box, filled it with rocks, and then wrapped it. And Dylan had gotten me something. Came home. I don't know if you remember this. He picked it up and went "Oh, Blake spent way more than I did." So he went and got me more shit. And
Fucking got had, dude.
the funny thing is he had gotten me little model motorcycles too.
Oh really?
Yeah, you had. But I did get you 2 or 3, and you got me 1. So you were right, kind of. But not it
Not
wasn't
as
long
bad
reason.
as I thought,
discrepancy.
though.
Should we call Jeff back and see what he wanted?
Yeah, give him a call real quick.
Yeah. Oh, he called me twice. What a fag.
Oh, he sounds needy.
God, he's like an ex-girlfriend.
Hello?
Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, what's up? Hello?
We're on the pod. Oh, he's playing sound bites
Oh.
of me.
Oh, of you. Huh?
Yeah.
That's you from the future.
I'm their whole show.
I mean, you're not wrong. Hey, did Jeff? Oh, he won't hear it until Monday, actually.
What? Oh, yeah, no, not yet. How's the show going, guys?
We were just getting ready to start it. We were just thinking about it.
9
Oh,
o'clock.
that's nice. We've been going for about an hour now. Oh.
We just tell Trevor hi for us.
Tell who? Trevor?
Trevor's dead.
Trevor's dead to us.
Oh yeah, we were wondering if you guys shit canned him yet or not.
Oh, shit. Well, that's
It's more like casually let go.
We were wondering if you guys let him go yet. Broke the news to him yet.
Yeah.
Hey, he let himself go.
That was years ago, though.
What?
Hey, can we have your guys' what's it called?
What? This?
Yeah.
Behind him?
Mix board?
Yeah, the mix board. Can we have your mix board?
Yeah. Yeah, sure.
Since you guys are such a big deal, and we're not.
Wait, are they like on their?
Are you guys still podcasting?
Yeah, we're like an hour in right now.
Oh shit.
We'll probably have to edit that shit
yeah.
out.
Apologize.
No, you're fine. You're on the show.
What are they doing?
They just hit
Some-
buttons.
They're playing Three's Company theme song.
Hey, will you guys sponsor us
Yeah.
Yeah.
with that all that Arts muffler money?
And Garcia's street taco.
Oh, shit. Low blow, bro.
Just like the mufflers.
Oh man,
We're sponsored by Low Blow Mufflers.
they can't. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
it's not going through the microphone.
Yeah, I get that. I was trying to talk into the mic and loud enough.
Dylan's yelling shit into the microphone like it's gonna come.
No, I'm
through.
trying to yell to
Oh.
you.
But you keep doing this.
Yeah, because I'm still on the podcast.
Yeah, he's being
How many times has he pulled his
fucking
nuts
Blake
out?
sometimes.
Has he pulled his nuts out?
0.
Not since he was in your house.
That was for you, Greg.
Wow.
Well, no, you've pulled him out at Blake's house,
Time were you?
Oh, that's right. Never mind. It wasn't just for you.
and then you crab walked across the.
What was that?
I crab walked?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Guys
Yeah.
are talking. Shut up. What'd you guys say?
All right.
Just hang up on
I
that.
said we saw his nuts on Marco Polo not that long ago.
On Marco Polo?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
I don't either.
It was boy tits, by the way.
You sent us a Marco Polo with his nuts by your face.
With his nuts by my face?
They were very close to your face. Yeah, they were right by your face.
I feel like I remember that.
They're
Oh,
fucking
there's
weird.
Marco Polo, bro.
Send me a picture.
Okay.
this fucking.
All right, hang up on them.
Yeah, hang up on them balls.
Alrighty, well, you guys have a great show.
Wow, that was mean.
All right.
You don't have to
Love
like
you. Bye.
throw out the bald thing.
Fuck you.
Do you hear that? I said, love you. Oh, fuck you. And they hung up fast because they're running away from their true identity.
Yep,
if
that's
you
exactly
will.
what it is.
Yeah.
Well, guys, you want to take a quick break here?
Yeah, let's do it.
that.
And then when we get back, I'll have a few more questions for Dad.
Yeah,
All right.
good.
Sounds good.
Alrighty, guys. We're back. We all fucking took a piss.
In Medium Dick Park.
Medium Dick Park. I brought down, like Blake said out there, I brought down the average quite a bit. But it's big.
It's big.
It's big. That's what his wife tells him.
Well,
Yeah.
that's all that matters.
Yeah, see, I like.
He's got her buffaloed.
He may not hit the bottom, but he'll fuck up the edges.
If he spins in a circle.
It's all in the hip movement.
It's all in the hole you're using.
And if you have 49 friends, it doesn't really matter.
No. Somebody's going to knock the
man.
bottom out of it.
The hip movement. You seem like a lay on your back kind of guy.
No, I fucking wish.
Yeah. No, we all do.
Yeah.
Like, I like it when you're on top. No shit.
No shit.
I would love to sit back and do none of the work.
I like days off too.
No, I'm like, I really like doing push-ups for 4 minutes straight.
It's not push-ups. It's planks.
Planking, yeah.
Wait, we
Planks
just
with
watched
an
the
ab
tape. It
workout.
turns out I was only moving my head.
And that's why he has 4 kids.
Yeah. My dad invented pulling out. He
Oh,
wasn't
did he?
very good at it, but he invented
He
it.
invented it.
Right?
Damn.
I was all right at backing out of the garage, but no good at that.
So, getting back into it, we were out there, and on the way up, I did think of a question
Okay.
to ask you. So, I know from Blake and from Dylan, you guys lived in Hawaii for a while.
Mm-hmm.
So, what was the reason for the move to Hawaii?
Well, I was in construction, still am. I was working in California on a project called the Vinabello Timeshares in Napa Valley, and after I got done with the subcontracting interior finish work on this, the project manager of that project said, "Well, I want you on my next job as a superintendent," and I'm going, "Yeah, right. I've heard this before, but this company that was building this that I was subcontracting for was from Hawaii." And their next big project was the Maui Ritz-Carlton, and they were going to shut it down and remodel the whole thing. And so I left California, done with that project, came home, went over to Wyoming, did a couple of projects over there. Hadn't really heard much from them. They were still going through negotiations and such on the Maui Ritz-Carlton project. And one day I got a phone call out of the blue saying, "Pack your bags." And so it was supposed to be a 6-month deal. So the school year was just about up or had just ended.
It was just coming to an end, yeah.
And so Blake and I flew out. And Blake was going to work that summer for the company that I was working for as a laborer, helper. And so we flew over, we started in, and so Corianne and my wife and their mother, Dylan, were coming over later once Dylan got his driver's license.
Okay.
And so Blake and I were over there, and we were just going to do that project and be done. But as we finished up that project, all 4 of us were over there. Blake and Dylan started school that next year there on Maui, and we, I don't know, kind of just fell into
Just the life.
that life there, working and them going to school, finishing that up, and Blake got the opportunity then later to come home and finish his senior year.
Yeah, because
Here.
the credits weren't really jiving between the high schools, and so it was less complicated for me to come home and finish high school here rather than try and do whatever I had to do to get through high school there, because the credits were like they didn't transfer
They
at
didn't
all.
transfer
yeah,
at all,
it was
no.
it was
Oh,
like
really?
it was like the time I did in school there
Didn't mean
counted
anything.
for
count.
almost nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and once I figured that out, I was like, it was time to kind of make a move just to get through high school, because I was
Right.
in my junior year, and it's like, time's kind of
Right.
ticking, so that was kind of the
So
story
we
there.
at that time we were coming up on the end of the project, and Dylan, you finished out school there, didn't you?
I
year?
did, yeah.
Yeah.
I did, yeah.
And then he went home for the summer. Another job came up that I got put on that was on the Big Island. And we moved over there thinking that Dylan would come back and go to school there. But that never happened. So we became empty nesters in Hawaii. And well, these two here were staying with their grandma at our house here in Idaho. But the reason for going over there was to work
Okay.
and make fairly good money. The reason for staying was just the same. It wasn't that we were trying to abandon our children or otherwise, but the
Right.
money,
Well, the money was good.
the money
It
was
coming
good.
in
And then by the time it was all said and done, not COVID, what was it? The 2008, 2007,
Swine
flu?
swine flu.
No, the bank,
the
Oh, the
economic
bank.
Oh,
banking the housing and
the housing bubble, the big bubble
yeah,
burst.
and it just
And
the
so
economy went to
we
shit.
Recession?
We were the recession.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
And so we knew it was getting close to being hit in Hawaii
Yeah.
too. Now there was more of an international market over there, so we got to stay a little longer. We were there till 2010, but then we came home because there was no work to be had anywhere. So
Okay.
Yeah.
and that was some rough times after that.
There was some dark days after that, and I remember as I came home in 2008, and it had already hit.
There,
know.
but
Gas prices here were like $4 or $5 a gallon almost, and,
Right.
And that was in 2008. Like now, it hits that, and everybody freaks out. That was 15 years ago.
right,
You know?
right.
But yeah, that was
So
And-
that was the reason for going over there in the first place. I had already traveled to California. They had come over to California in 2001, and went to school there for a year. And then we came back. We always kept our home here in
Right.
Idaho. So we always had a place to come back to. And then I went back in 2006, 2007, first of 2007, to do another project in California. And that's where I ran into the Hawaii connection.
Okay. And was raising them in because they were past that age where you needed to really watch them while you're in Hawaii. But what were there any challenges with them being at a completely new?
The only challenges was that, of course, their friends weren't there. You know, moving
Right.
them away from high school in their final years was probably the most difficult for them to understand that to grasp this opportunity. You know, so they were kind of on this bummed end. You know, like Blake had his girlfriend and Dylan. I don't know if you had a girlfriend that you left home, but
I did, but I told her that, like, don't wait up. I'm going to be in Hawaii.
I mean, some server
Right.
chicks there.
Right.
Yeah.
And so one of the benefits of being from Idaho and living in Hawaii was that they both could drive.
Yeah. I got my driver's license two
Right
days
before,
before.
yeah.
So, and in Hawaii, not only do you not get it till you're 16, but you fucking don't, even when you're 16.
They just
don't.
They just don't.
The
It
culture
wasn't-
over there is like you'll get your driver's license probably in your early 20s. And so being a sophomore in high school, and some of the seniors had driver's licenses and maybe a couple juniors, and then I had a driver's license. They were like, it made me cool.
you were one of the cool kids.
Well,
Yeah.
and he was 2 feet taller than everybody, and
Yeah, I was
White.
6'3" and 15 years old.
you didn't look like the typical sophomore.
he stuck
No.
out quite a bit at that school.
Right. So they did have. There was really no challenges except they were good kids, and we were on Maui coming into Christmas, and the company I was working for threw a big Christmas party on Oahu, and in Honolulu, and so we were going to be gone. Corianne and I were going to be gone over the weekend, and we told them, guys, throw a party, do something. You know, we're off.
I forgot.
We're
about
off
this.
the island.
Yeah.
There ain't nothing we're gonna do.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
If you get thrown in jail, though, you'll be there until we get back. But
Guys threw a
but at
rager?
least do something.
Yeah. No, we didn't. And
Missed opportunity.
well, I don't know if I was in that kind of mindset yet at that time. And then we had friends by that time, but not. I don't know. I wasn't close enough to anybody to bring them.
I didn't. I thrived there after you left because I had to.
Yeah. Yeah, you did good once I was gone for a while.
It was
yeah.
like the change kind of was a shell shock, and I was also, Blake was the shyest person who's ever lived, and so we kind of just stuck together. We're like, all right, we'll get through this. It's
Yeah.
weird. It
And
was
then-
crazy. We're like, we're on an island
It was so wild.
out
yeah.
of nowhere. Just
Such a
like
weird
that.
change,
Like,
yeah.
Hey, we're going in the middle of the ocean, and everybody there is different. And everybody that sees you is going to be like, holy fuck, you're different. and you're one of 4 white kids at school. You know, which is not a problem, but it's a change. It's
Yeah.
a big change,
Huge
from
culture change,
rural
yeah.
fucking Idaho.
Yeah.
And then so once Blake figured out his credit thing was going to be fucked up and left, I was like, I got to make some friends. And then I made a fuck ton of friends, and I actually had a really good. I have some people that I really
So
loved over there.
you got to experience more of the
for sure.
Joys of like what
Yeah.
living on an island.
Yeah, because I
would
found a group, just happened into a group of kids that were really fucking awesome, and they were really, really stoked about me being different and me being from somewhere else. A high percentage of the people over there, my dad's generation, are the nicest, sweetest people on the planet. Until you've met somebody who's a true Hawaiian, like, it's crazy. They're just the most accepting, nice, sweet people. And they're just laid back and chill and cool. And then our age were like the opposite. They didn't want new people. They didn't want white people. They didn't want mainland people. And I can understand why. You know, it's their home.
Well, it's very much like the people
They're watching
here in
it
Idaho.
change. Yeah, it's
saying,
exactly
"Fuck the
like all the
Californians."
people go back to fucking California. It's pretty much the same kind of thing. Some people wouldn't look at you at all, and other people thought you were like, they looked at you like you were a piece of art because they've never seen anything like you before. They've never seen green eyes. They've never seen somebody that's white skinned and 6'3" or 6 foot, you know. And it was a real weird like mix of stuff. And then he had a guy that he worked with on the Maui Ritz-Carlton, and after a while, that guy brought his son over, and his son was the same age as me, and he was he had it. This was cool because this kid was tall, skinny, but he was a nerd. Like, straight up nerd. If I was white, he was whiter. My hair was curly, his was fucking curlier. I had a funny voice, his voice was funnier. Like, he was just the nerdier version of me.
Okay.
And he thrived instantly because he didn't give a fuck. He was just who he was, no matter where he was, no matter what people thought. And I was like, and the coworker was like, hey, you ought to hang out with my son, you know? And his coworker was like a real fucking cool dude. And so when I met his son, I was like, what the fuck? Like, this is your kid, you know? But of course, started hanging out with this guy, and he was just unapologetically himself. And that was so cool to me because I was usually like that. But this whole Hawaii experience I wasn't really like that at first. I kind of was too scared to be like that. But I started hanging out with him, and they lived on the other side of the island. And there was like this high school rivalry where we went to Baldwin High School, and on the other side was now I can't even remember what Lahaina High. And so Lahaina High and Baldwin were like rivals because they're the only 2 fucking high schools on the whole island. And so it's like, but I made a whole group of friends from Lahaina High. And so I would have my friends from Wailuku, and then we'd go over on the other side of the island, and I would hang out with Willie and all my Lahaina High friends. And it just the coolest people ever. Just regular kids that grew up on a fucking island.
Now, with all you guys living in Hawaii, did any of you guys give your hand at like surfing or any of like
we did bodyboarding.
the kind of things you would do in Hawaii?
Never really got an opportunity for
Snorkeling?
surfing.
Lots of snorkeling.
But yeah, we go play in the ocean. I was a little bit scared of it.
It's freaky.
so, like,
I'm terrified.
Yeah,
of the
because
ocean.
and they had an aquarium there, like, and you went through the aquarium, and then at some point they tell you like everything in here is local, and you're like, all that shit is out there, and you're like,
we had that. We had one of the company parties down on Fleming Beach. They would just throw the Friday night bangers with all the fucking a mountain of 30 racks.
which this beach won awards.
Yeah, this
For,
beach
like-
is like Sada. It's a beautiful beach in Maui, and it was literally a if you pissed hard enough from the Ritz, it was there. You know, it wasn't very far away. But we had a company party there. One time we saw a freaking school of dolphins, a group of dolphins.
A herd. I don't fucking know. Like they're
We
mammals.
saw like
so-
50 dolphins banging one girl dolphin. And no, just kidding. They were just swimming around, and it was really cool. And then the next day on the news, we saw that a hammerhead shark washed up dead.
Oh, they were
Yeah.
they
On that
fucked up a
beach.
Oh, so it was 50 dolphins fucked a hammerhead shark.
Yeah, yeah, it was a female hammerhead too. So
Yeah, and it washed up, and I was
I
like,
thought that was a
don't think-
hammerhead, not a hammer pussy.
I don't think I went in the water after that hammerhead.
Oh, possibly not.
Because they said, it was like an old sick one, so like they can't fight the current at a certain point
Yeah.
when they're
So
dying.
they just go up to
So
the swimming area.
They're out in the kind of shallow area, and I remember I got brave that day at one point, and I swam out like 50 or more yards, like way out there, and the thought of like how close I could have been to that shark
And
afterward.
fast
Which
forward-
statistically, you've got a better chance of getting struck by lightning than getting eaten by a shark. And then I go to Hawaii for 1 year, and I get
You know
I
what?
get
They
on the
say
stat
that, but
sheet.
if you're swimming in the ocean and the skies are blue,
Your chances of the shark is better.
I'm not scared of lightning at that point.
yeah, right.
But
It's like-
no,
it's-
fast forward 7 years at that same beach. The day after Blake gets married, he gets in that water and fucking loses his first wedding ring.
immediately.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, at Fleming Beach?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
really?
Because we were like, oh, we know this one. It's a really
Yeah,
nice
we
beach
wanted
that-
to take everybody
Yeah.
to Fleming. 'cause
And I
we-
got there, and I actually like went to pull it off, but my hands were, because of the humidity, like kind of swollen and kind of clammy, and I
Uh-huh.
couldn't get it off. So I was like, well, I guess I don't got to worry about it if I can't get it off. But then I'm swimming in the cold water,
with
Yeah.
salt. in
cool
it.
off, and I remember like as I'm paddling like this, I just felt it go whoop. And I'm splashing out there like frantically for like 20 minutes looking for this ring that I was never gonna find. And I didn't.
That's rough.
Yeah, it sucked. It was the only nice one I ever really had, because I wasn't really allowed to have a nice one after that.
There is,
Right.
there
Because
is,
why would I get a nice one after that?
there's truly a vibe over there, though, and you hear people talk about it all the time. But unless you've experienced it, like, and that's the only way you can describe it as a vibe, because it's not something that's tangible in any sort of way. It's just the mix of the smell and the feeling of the salt, the fact that if you shower you sweat, and the way the people interact with you.
Oh, and don't bother trying to have straight hair there.
Yeah. Well, and the grass is different. The trees are different. The dirt is red. Everything is different. It's like you got dropped in fucking Pandora or something.
It's not a state. It's a different country.
Yeah,
You
that
know,
we
it's-
Well, I
claim.
mean, essentially,
Yeah.
essentially, that's exactly what
It's a
Hawaii
different
is.
world. Yeah, it's like,
But
like, you
everything's
get
different.
there-
I mean, you walk out in the yard and the grass is not the same. Like
Yeah.
you're like, this isn't grass. This is different grass.
you
Like
don't walk through it. I mean, until you like see a Burger King or something, you don't walk through it and think like, this is America. Like it is
Yeah.
legally, but it's
Until you
not.
see like the American things. Like,
Yeah, like I mean, because
yeah, if
they
you're in the
use-
middle of town, it's
You're gonna
pretty
see
much
Walmart.
whatever.
they
but-
use our systems and units of measure and
But you're like-
money, but
minutes away from places where they filmed Jurassic Park and all kinds of crazy shit. And like we went on a hike one time. Did you go on the hike?
yeah, I went on
The
one.
Yao Valley? So this group of kids kind of claimed me and Blake at the first there. And they're like, we're going to hike Yao Valley. Like, okay, cool. We live like right on the freaking rim of that thing. And so we go follow them to this thing. And it's just a hike. It was a couple miles. And you're walking this trail. And in Idaho, you're used to vegetation is at your feet and trees are above you.
yeah.
Well, this place, the vegetation is literally above your head. The tree canopies are far above your head. There's vines and things that you've never seen, trees that you've never seen. Everything's just
It feels like a jungle.
grand. It is a jungle. And then you get to the end of the hike, and there's a literally like in every movie where they hike, and at the end there's the clear, beautiful pool of water, and there's a waterfall coming down, and you swim under the waterfall into the cave,
And that's what it was.
and that's what was up there. And it was like,
That's really
no
cool.
fucking shit, dude. It was just
It's-
cool. So
that
wild.
would be a major culture shock for me because I've grown up in Idaho.
Yeah.
The furthest I've been away, like in a living aspect, is Cheyenne, Wyoming, which
Oh, man.
is
Oh man,
which is the same thing as here. Like,
Yeah.
there's really no difference. The culture's the same. Like, it's
Yeah,
very
and
it's very
just-
red.
Yeah.
Like Red Kingdom kind of red.
Right.
It was cool, and unfortunately, we were too young to fully appreciate it.
Yeah, that was one. As I got older, I wish I would have allowed myself to.
Sort of like Johnny Tsunami kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like in reverse though.
I wish I would have allowed
Yeah.
myself to appreciate it more than I did. I was just teenage angst. Like I wanted what I had, not what was in front of me, you know. And it was the way
'Cause
I
I
think
know-
a lot of kids would have approached it, definitely. But like looking back, I know how I could have made things better for myself by
But
just
also, you
opening
can't
up
really
to it.
blame yourself for your 15, 16
I know, yeah,
feelings,
you're an idiot. Then you just like I could tell myself, I could go back in time and tell that kid like, hey, just
You're in
open
fucking
up and
Hawaii.
appreciate it, and that kid would be like, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, like
I want
in-
all my
In
friends.
13 years, you're
Yeah.
really gonna regret this. Like, I'll take my chances.
yeah, I'm like,
Right,
okay, yeah.
So
But so you've worked on a lot of projects, big projects like the Maui Ritz Hotel.
yeah.
Have you worked on any? So you I mean, I try and get my tongue out of a knot here. You live in Vegas, right?
Now, yes.
What is the biggest project you've had there?
The biggest
I'm
project
kind of leading
there.
here, but
Yeah.
I think I know
Leaning.
the answer.
Well, the project that took me down there was quite sizable. It was the Nevada State Nursing Center and the student building. Now there was 2-3-story buildings that was the first undergoing it that
And
I
that was-
took on down there.
Nevada, it was the university,
It was the
Right.
state college.
state college.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And so that was what took me down there. And over the course of it, I've worked on Starbucks. I've worked on just little projects here and there. We did the remodel of the Palms Fantasy Tower. So from top to bottom, all the rooms, the old Playboy Club. I personally was in charge of remodeling it into conference rooms and stuff like that.
Well, that's lame.
Right.
The conference rooms.
But they turned out good. The moon lounge that was on top, it has a retractable roof. I changed it into like convention space as well, but they're high end convention spaces, and it's
Yeah.
actually really cool. They aren't what they were. They've got other venues there that are dance and nightclubs now. The Fantasy Tower is just more of a I don't know, hotel rooms.
Name Fantasy Tower could be misleading.
Well, there are stripper poles in some of the main suites.
Hell yeah.
So
Hell
there
yeah.
are fantasies
Hell
being
yeah.
taking place there.
They're happening.
But one of the biggest projects I have been on was the Raiders Stadium. Or
That's the one I was leading
Allegiant.
into.
Yeah.
I didn't necessarily work on Allegiant Stadium. I worked in. And the reason for that is we were a subcontracted by Raiders Image to put their stores in the arena.
Okay.
And so there's 3 stores in the inside there, and I was working on those 3.
Like apparel stores.
Apparel,
like, yeah.
they're the Raiders Raiders gear and
Raiders
everything.
gear
Yeah,
Stores.
The
Yeah.
gift
Yeah.
shops,
the
pretty
gift
much.
shops. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we had the company I worked for. We are contracted to do pretty much all of the Raider Image stores throughout Vegas. So we even did their warehouse, and then we did the Aces offices and warehouse.
Yeah, that's right. The Las Vegas Aces, which our champions right now.
Yeah.
Do like Raiders gift shops get stolen from a lot?
I don't believe so.
I don't know about that.
It's not like your Walmart. They actually have
Well-
security.
I would think they would have tight security.
Yeah.
So working on the stadium, like, were you working while there were, like, you were working on like the apparel shop and all that?
Right.
Was everything already built around like
It was close. I mean, everything. It was near the end of it. I worked in the last, I don't know, 8 months of it being built. We finished up just before all the seating had been put in place.
He did show me pictures though of he saw the turf and that big torch at the end of the field.
Yeah,
Like, he saw that get installed. So I mean, like
I watched that get installed. I seen it lit the first time.
that's crazy.
I seen
Yeah.
the turf be brought in
Dude,
the first time.
The crane putting up the jumbotron. You sent me a picture of that.
I sent you. I believe the crane was doing just the speakers.
Oh, was it? But
Yeah.
in relationship to the jumbotron.
Yeah, as far as I would take pictures from up above, showing the scope of the size of the thing.
And the crane looks small.
And the crane looked small. Semis were down there, pulled in on the field. That's where all the
And
deliveries.
it just gave you a real perspective of how
big this
fucking
stadium is.
huge it was. Yeah.
because it was when the stadium was first being built, and they were talking about it, and all the big rage is that everybody wanted to work on it. And it was like,
Yeah.
they're going, hey, that's a resume maker. That's a resume maker. I'm going, I want nothing to do with it. I don't need that on my resume.
Right. Yeah.
I don't. That's for younger guys.
Right. Sure.
You know?
Yeah.
like I already have a very good portfolio.
Right. My resume is going to speak for itself. I don't need that on there.
Right. Yeah.
And then by the time it was all over with, I'm on there. So
Yeah. Like it was calling. It was
it
going to
was
happen
calling
regardless. Yeah.
regardless if I wanted to or not.
Yeah, and it's funny because of the scale of it, how big it was and everything. I recently learned it's the 5th smallest
Yeah, it's not
stadium
it's not,
in the NFL.
It's not the biggest, that's for sure.
No, it's
But to me,
Tells
it's-
you how
it's
fucking
huge, yeah.
grand they are.
Yeah,
All
they're-
of
yeah,
them.
they're
so
massive.
I
have
can
you-
only imagine bigger.
Have
Yeah.
you been to any other NFL?
he went
That's
to
me.
Been to San Francisco.
he went to Candlestick before it was torn down.
Me, Candlestick. Yes.
Because that one doesn't exist anymore. It's Levi Stadium now.
Because
Yeah.
the only stadium I've been to is, fucking whatever they call the Broncos Stadium. Oh, fuck.
Mile
In
High.
Mile
Vesco, well, that's at Mile High.
Oh,
because the
Mile
Mile
High.
High Stadium was the old stadium. I think it's like in Vesco Field.
It's something field at Mile High.
Yeah.
They kept it.
Oh,
They put it like-
they
yeah,
did
they
that
put the
cunty
at
thing. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
it's because
because-
like Denver's so stuck on the Mile High thing because they
Right.
think that's cool and creative.
Well,
and
because
clever.
it's because Denver is exactly a mile high.
right.
It's
Right.
not because it's the highest. Because I lived in Cheyenne, and it is like 2,000 feet more above.
Right. No,
Oh, it's like 1.7 miles high.
Yeah.
No, so I've been to, when I was 16, I won a trip to see the Mariners play the Orioles.
see now I didn't know that.
Yeah. And they played in the Kingdom.
The Kingdom, which does not exist anymore.
Yeah, the Kingdom has been imploded.
So you've seen a couple different.
A couple of
professional-
different.
I've
How
seen a
did-
bunch
how
from
did
the
the-
outside.
How did the Raiders Stadium kind of like in size compare to these other places you've been?
Candlestick was big, but it was open air. It was so it really the size of it didn't surprise me because I had been to the Kingdom, which was a full-on dome. But the Kingdom, in memory, I was really in awe of it because I was 16, didn't really have life experiences, but it seemed old to me. The Kingdom had this
Worn out
just,
feel.
I don't know if it was worn out. It was just old. It was just like dungeonous,
Oh, really? Yeah.
but a huge dungeon, where the Allegiant Stadium, where the whole roof glows.
Yeah.
The sun comes through and diffuses, and it doesn't cast a shadow.
yeah.
you could just see the differences between that and the Kingdom were just phenomenal.
The modern ones are crazy.
There's no comparison. Now, size-wise, I was just in as much awe with the Raiders as I was with the Kingdom, Allegiant Stadium. And so that project, it wasn't necessarily intended. It is something that is cool to have been part of.
Right, of
You know.
course. I would love to have been part of something, and not even just because obviously I'm not a Raiders fan. I've got Broncos stuff all over the wall.
I'm not a Raiders fan either. So it was never really about the Raiders. It was more about the
experience,
space itself.
yeah.
I did see a picture of a guy on that project supposedly buried a Kansas City Chiefs jersey
I heard the same thing. I don't know.
Under the turf.
And they may have.
Yeah, they may have. I could see guys trying to get away with shit
Yeah.
I think it's a good place for a Kansas City jersey in the dirt.
in the dirt.
Well, as you can see, it didn't really help.
Not for the most part.
Right.
As of recent, it's kind of been a fun little year for him, but and then the Broncos are going to be paying a quarterback that's not going to be there.
$15 million or something.
Right.
Oh, it's way
45
more than
million.
that.
Right.
Yeah.
I actually sent you a TikTok. A guy did a money breakdown of it. It's depressing.
Oh yeah,
Not
Broncos are
even
gonna be paying him some money to. Dude,
To
did
sit
you
at
did you
home.
see the? I saw a meme on Facebook, and it was captioned Russ driving away from the Broncos stadium after being, I forgot the amount, being paid.
Oh, it'll be
and then it
100
showed the picture of OJ with the white Bronco
Yeah.
with Russ in the driver's seat.
over the course of 2 years, it'll break down to about 180 million
Yeah.
Jeez.
So
for
Have you-
11 games that they won.
Yeah.
have you been to a Raiders game since
No,
you
I
live
have
in?
not. No, I have not. I haven't had the opportunity, really. They come to town, and I usually know that they're coming to town because I see the broadcast trucks come in. Because when I cross over off of Russell, going to the office, I see their trucks there. It'll be Monday or Sunday or Thursday,
Getting
whichever
ready
game
for
it is.
Yeah.
And I'll go, oh shit, there's a home game.
Home game
Yeah.
this weekend. Yeah. Oh, and then this year, you guys got the Super Bowl.
Yeah, we got the
This
Super
time
Bowl.
around.
Yeah,
You
what?
could look getting tickets to that.
I mean,
Nah.
I'd be fuck if you could pay for it. you
No,
know?
I wouldn't even. It would be fun to see the Super Bowl, but I wouldn't pay that kind of money.
Well, what's going to be fun is just the chaos around it is going to be.
Oh,
nuts.
that's I'm. you're
Well,
gonna
we're
have
used to
you're gonna have
chaos. We
update
just
these
went through
guys.
the F1.
Yeah, the fucking
Yeah.
F1 thing.
Well, and
Yeah.
that's the thing. That's F1. The Super Bowl,
Right,
That's
right.
American. You
Yeah,
know,
but
that's
still, they're only going to bring in 100,000 people.
yeah.
Well, then you imagine
Still,
a
Fine.
tailgate.
I
There's
just
going to be
wonder-
the people that come there for the Super Bowl, no matter where it's being played,
Yeah.
and then you're going to have the people that are there because it's being played there.
Mhm.
Then you're going to have the people that are coming to go to the game.
Yeah.
So we're going to have
There's going to be
there's always an influx of a
Well,
couple million people anyway.
It's not the number of people. It's just I know that each city reacts differently to a Super Bowl win or loss or
Right, and
you know.
what they tear up and what they tear
yeah.
up.
Like there was a guy in Philadelphia that ate horse shit.
Well, we should get some
Sounds
horse
like an
shit
Eagles
here.
fan.
Right? No, who knows? Vegas is prepared for idiots
Sin.
stuff.
Yeah, it's
City.
probably better prepared for idiots than
Well, it's
Well,
got-
I mean, it's
Any other city.
well, we didn't have
Yeah.
to build a hotel for the thing to happen.
right
We didn't have to build, extra roadways
Infrastructure
or
for it, yeah.
Parking. But
Hotel prices are going to be insane.
oh yeah, F1 it was ridiculous.
I bet you could Airbnb
What
one of
is
your
F1?
bedrooms for
F1, Formula One.
Oh, Formula One.
Racing.
Okay,
Yeah,
racing
Yeah.
cars.
Yeah.
Okay.
I watched it.
Turn
I'm
the
not- I'm not-
streets of Vegas into a racetrack.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right down.
Fuck, that'd be
right
wait,
down.
no, wait, really?
Yeah, this
Yeah,
last,
that's
No
how
shit.
F1 works. Like it's in Europe for a long time. Like they just
Oh,
set
I'm
up.
thinking of drag cars. No, like F1, like the.
You're thinking of
the open wheels
Formula One.
Formula One cars.
yeah. It's kind of like IndyCar.
Dude, I would have
but-
loved to go see that.
Yeah, it was.
I'm not even a big into like the
Well, we got a 10-year contract with them, so
motorsport performance kind of thing. But
It was very expensive at first, but then when people weren't,
we're saying, well, that's a little bit more than I want to pay.
and yeah, when they
The
weren't,
prices started going down.
they
So
went down. Yeah,
hopefully next year they have more of a grip on what really consumers
on
will pay.
reality. Yeah. I wish we had the internet right now because I want you to see how this
sorry.
during practice, a couple cars hit what
They
they
hit a
thought
little
was
cover.
it was like a cover on the road. They thought it was a manhole cover, but these, I don't remember how much they cost. The cars,
Oh, shit, who knows?
$2, $3, $4, $6 million. I don't know. And like they're during practice, two of them are like hauling ass down this road, just, and then you just see a pop, like they pop up off the road and then just sparks. And one of those covers was loose, and a car hit it, and it destroyed two of those F1 cars before they even hit the race day.
Yeah. Well, in preparation for all that, they're supposed to go through and weld those down to where they don't pop up. But this one got missed somehow.
And that's where they started pissing people off, because some people had only paid to see open practice because that's all they could afford. And then after that happened, they were like, "Oh, we got to fix the manhole covers." So they spent all this time fixing the manhole covers, and then they told everybody.
Fixing and checking to make
Yeah.
sure that there wasn't
And
more
then people
of them.
paid to see that.
And
See
then
that.
they just told everybody to leave. Wow! So they saw 8 total minutes of practice.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
So it wasn't.
I actually woke up that morning to go to work. It was like 3 a.m.
Uh-huh.
And a guy was on the strip in Las Vegas, just live streaming it on TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, "Look at me, getting it for free."
Right.
And then he like found this elevator somewhere that like, because they're blocking everything, you
Oh,
know,
yeah.
as best like. And he found this outside elevator somewhere, and he goes up it, and it like brought him up high enough to look down over the wall and where one of the corners there.
Oh, right.
And somebody was like, "Tape your phone to the side of the elevator on the race day."
Oh, right.
Like, can you? Yeah, that would be there for 90 seconds before
Yeah.
somebody was like, "Hey, cool."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, can you imagine? But yeah, it was. It seemed like it ended up not as big of a disaster as it could have been. Aaron went there. He's a big F1 guy.
He's a big car guy.
Yeah, he's a big
Yeah.
car guy, big F1 guy, and yeah,
So do
I
you-
watched it on ESPN for free.
So do you have a favorite sport or anything like that?
Well, hockey is kind of taking over my life.
and I'm assuming since you're in Vegas, it's the Golden Knights.
Exactly. Well, I actually moved there in 2016. I'd been affiliated with Vegas since 2014, but
Right.
had been sent to California and then to Pennsylvania to build a Costco. I came back and we had bought a house. So we bought a house their inaugural year. And so I really wasn't paying attention. I heard this hype in the background. You know, I'd never watched a hockey game in my life. And I'm hearing about these nights, and I'm going, my word. So my boss was in one day, and he's wearing his shirt, a night shirt, and I said, I keep hearing about these nights. He says, you don't know about the nights? I said, no. I said, what's going on? He said, the hockey team. He says, there's a game tonight. Here's tickets.
Oh boy.
Right? So,
Who were they
Coriana
playing?
night, I don't even remember who they were playing, but it was like the best experience I've ever had at a. I've seen baseball, I've seen football, I've seen, this was like full contact, craziness.
I love if I had to. I think if it came down to it, if I had to choose a sport based on, just the action in it, I would 100% choose hockey
well, and that's
over
just it.
football. Because football, it takes a long time.
Yeah, yeah.
Hockey, once it starts, it just
It
don't
goes.
stop.
Yeah.
And
When it's top teams,
yeah.
when it's the bottom teams, the worst teams in the NHL, it's horrible. But
Well, like, I
if
even
you
went
get the guys that are in the running for the championship and shit like that, it gets wild.
Well, and I even went to an Idaho Spud Kings game here.
No, right.
And that's just minor. They're not even a feeder league, I don't think, for a
Well, they
pro
have a
team.
piece of shit for a logo, so
Yeah, they do. It's an awful logo. Their uniforms actually aren't too bad.
yeah, they are.
I don't think they were. Their home
I
uniforms.
think they're pretty bad. Yeah.
All right, consider the colors you got. I mean,
God,
they
they could have just tried a
Well,
little.
it's
with
like
the
The
But it
logo
was,
sucks, the name sucks, the colors suck. It's like, yep, sounds
can't
like an
get
Idaho
behind it.
team to me.
I want them to change everything.
But
and
it
then
was
I'll
like-
support it.
they don't
Well,
allow.
Boise has still heads, It's
Something,
like,
yeah.
yeah.
It was
Well, the
like-
Steelheads is already a team.
No, I mean,
we're not
that's what
saying
they
copy.
say. They
It's just
say
like
something
put some
fucking-
just something
effort.
besides
in.
a Spud team.
It's so we talked about this.
I would have
towards
liked
the
the
beginning of
Idaho
podcast.
elk cocks better.
Yeah, so
But,
the Idaho Mountain
the-
Blue Jays.
Went to the game
The
and
fucking gray wolves.
even if it wasn't a pro or anything, it was my first hockey game. Like
Right.
being there, and I enjoyed it so much that I'm thinking about buying season tickets for
Right.
them.
He said the only thing that would have been made it better is if there was 50 guys on the ice.
Yep.
50 guys.
And one girl.
Right.
But no,
Just getting
like
pummeled.
like you don't get to see them like
called a
fight or
gang
anything,
puck.
like,
Oh,
because
well, yeah. There's
in
there's
actual hockey,
fights.
you get actual fights, but these guys they're not allowed to. They'll
Right,
get kicked
right.
out of the league if they
Yeah,
start throwing
there's
hands.
different
Yeah.
rules with that. I just
Yeah.
I feel
because
like
they're
they should be able
kids.
to use
They're
their
kids.
sticks.
Or if they start slicing throats.
Like the oldest one is
Right.
like 22 years old.
Oh,
on
right,
the team.
right.
Like they're
So-
kids. They're a lot of them are in school still, and they're traveling, trying to get like
noticed.
noticed to get scholarships or even
Or even scouted. Yeah.
even scouted for a feeder league.
Or banged
Right.
by 50 guys.
Or
See,
bring-
we have
yeah.
we have the Silver Knights, Henderson Silver Knights as well, and they're our American hockey league, and they're our farm team. So
Yeah.
we'll pull from them as we get injured, drop people back if they're not performing well, and still keep them.
Smart to put one just right there in the same city.
Well, that's just it. They were using one out of Minnesota somewhere. It took forever to get the guy in.
Yeah, that's like
unless we have
Well,
to be
that's
playing
like-
in Minnesota.
The Chuckers here are feeder league for
the Royals.
the
Kansas
Royals.
City
Oh,
Kansas
okay.
City Royals. I'm like, that's a
Oh, they are?
That's, yeah.
that's yeah.
That's what, if you go into the Chuckers like sports shop there in the stadium, it's all Royals shit.
No
Yep.
shit.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
If
Yeah.
they're a feeder or a whatever. They have so many different
They're a
terms.
B
but-
Well,
league.
they'll draft somebody. The Royals will then. They'll draft somebody and put them down there. They'll draft them young, and they'll put them in their farm league to give them some experience, and then be ready for when the next guy.
Unless
Can
they're
you imagine
unless
playing
they're
in
like
Idaho Falls
really
one
good.
week and then going to play Kansas City? Like,
Right.
getting pulled up to the bigs and then just, God, that's got to be something.
And I'm sure some of them that get drafted go straight. To
Some
the
of
big.
them, but like it's actually way more rare in baseball to just go straight to the pros.
Right.
Like, I know
You'll
a
bounce
guy-
around a minor.
we both know a guy.
Ever.
I'm sure Dylan's met him too.
Yeah, yeah.
The
We
guy
worked
guy
with
we-
the guy that was a
Manny?
Yeah,
Yeah, Manny.
Yeah.
Him and his friend. They were both. I didn't know that.
Who's his friend?
I fucking don't know his name.
Another black guy.
Another. Yeah. Yeah.
Don't know.
Another black guy from
From the Dominican?
the Dominican. Yeah.
Okay.
They were both. They played for the Chuckers, but when I asked man, he's like, "Oh yeah, I play for the Kansas City Royals," and I'm like, "That's one way to put it, I guess."
I was like, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you do technically, I guess.
Yeah.
Like you work.
Just sounds cooler.
Yeah.
than playing for the Idaho Falls Chuckers, but yeah, going to that hockey game was fun. I want to go to a pro game, but
Right.
I really want to see my favorite team, and I don't think that's ever going to happen because my team's the Detroit Red Wings,
Well, there,
and the closest they ever get is
Unfortunate name.
only playing the Avalanche,
Yeah.
and I don't want to go to that game.
you don't want to go to Colorado?
Oh no,
All right, so
I
why
would
aren't
love
you a Colorado fan if you're
because
a
I
Denver
don't.
fan?
Well, I'm not one. I'm not a Nuggets fan either.
Well,
I'm a Utah Jazz fan, and that's the most jazzy name.
oh, you seem like a guy that wouldn't like basketball.
I'm not as big into it as I am hockey or obviously football.
Well, you seem like you wouldn't like basketball people, I should say. But
Basketball. That's Trevor.
but
we-
no, it's just like I mean, I figured you like the Broncos because they're like the localist team. Actually, we looked it up.
I
the
was
other day.
raised into the liking the Broncos. Like it was.
We looked it
all-
up the other day. That Seattle's actually much closer.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
I'm not
but,
going to be a
um,
Seattle fan.
Well, I mean,
Well, I mean, if I had to switch teams, I already know what team I'd switch to.
which one?
Well, it's a toss up between two.
The Chiefs?
Fuck no.
Well, they're successful.
Well, my other team is successful too.
Oh, who's that?
The Bengals.
The Bengals.
As long as
You gotta stick with
Burr-
that orange, huh?
The Bengals.
Well, no, I'm thinking it's that fucking pure white jersey they have.
Yeah, those are
Dude,
sick.
that's fucking
oh
gas.
my god, those are sick. My
That-
mom pretty much called me gay the other day
That
because
and-
I've been so obsessed with the throwback
Do you know-
uniforms and the new uniforms. She's like, "You've been really like on this lately."
What? You trying? No. Oh, I don't know. I don't know what he looks like.
He looks
Oh,
like
you
a guy
don't?
from the
No, he
50
just-
Guys video.
he just
That's
but-
said-
another guy
he
from the
just said-
Dominican Republic that I know. So
Yeah, and that's probably him. That might be him.
Yeah, we play the Red Wings.
I know he's in his 40s, so I don't know.
Oh, maybe not. This guy's around Manny's age. And they
How
can't.
old's Manny?
33, 34.
33.
Oh, I thought he was maybe a little older than that.
Well, it's kind of hard to tell with someone like Manny who is just fucking
Black.
black. Well, not black, and then like peak performance, fucking
High performance black, yeah.
high performance black.
Right. So, yeah, so we play, the Knights play the Red Wings at
Was
Red
it?
Wings, though.
Yeah, at Red Wings. And see, that's the thing is that I definitely can't go to Detroit anytime soon. And I don't think I want to go to Detroit.
It would be probably it would
it's
be
coming
probably
up.
cheaper for you to fly there and go to a game there than it would be to fly down to Vegas and go to those games.
Actually, flying from Idle Falls to Vegas, there's $10 or like $100 flights.
Yeah,
But
well,
the-
I just
but the
did it,
tickets-
yeah.
the
but the
ticket-
tickets there, $250, $300.
Yeah. Well, going to a Detroit game in Detroit would be a lot cheaper because they suck right now.
Yeah.
Just like getting a Broncos ticket right now is actually pretty cheap. I've been thinking about going to a game next season.
No, that would be cool. Well, next season's I mean, they need your money. So
They're about 50% or 500. The Red Wings are.
About $500.
No, 17, 15, 4. They've lost.
above
They've won
500 on
17.
their
They're above
record.
5. Well, they're just below 500, but
I don't think they're going to make the playoffs.
uh,
They made it they barely missed it last year,
that,
last
that
season.
could be the same this year.
but hockey is a different beast compared to like football. They're both physical sports, like,
yeah.
but hockey is on a different level.
Well, you
like
play,
watching people get slammed into the glass.
Well, and they play 82
satisfying.
games a year.
Yeah,
And
Oh, that's
if
like-
they don't go into the playoffs.
yeah, and that's like basketball too, where
Yeah,
basketball and hockey, it's a lot of games,
right.
and that's
Did you see the Browns player last night that went into convulsions?
no.
Yeah. Yeah, he was like I had actually watched the play, saw him like sitting there with his mask all full of grass and stuff, and I just was like, oh,
Wait, did
shit.
he? Oh, I saw that he went into
Yeah,
convulsions.
like where he laid there and like did the involuntary.
Oh no, I didn't. I
Muscle
didn't
jerks,
see him
yeah.
doing that.
Yeah.
I saw him hit his head like into the ground
Yeah.
and bounced his head off the
Yeah, he
ground.
went into, and then like some doctors were like tweeting out that they tweeted out exactly what it was. It was similar to like what happened to Tua last year. But yeah, this is ugly.
Dude, it reminds
Oh,
me of
yeah.
at work the other day. You remember JP from work?
Mhm.
Another little ginger that works over at Coke. He showed me a video. I'm not into the fighting sports, right?
Right.
But it was a UFC fight. Dude punched a dude so hard it made him fucking start having seizures.
Jeez.
Like
That'd be something else.
yeah, like complete knockout. Like
Yeah.
he done.
Yeah.
So at that
when-
point-
it's funny when
after-
they go
after the-
down and they go like super stiff.
Oh yeah, this
Like-
dude didn't even go stiff. I guess he got hit and instantly passed out. Woke up and just started his fucking
I wonder if you quit after that.
no. No,
I don't know if they're smart enough.
Yeah, I mean, because that's pretty bad. Like I'd say, you see like videos of schoolyard fights, even,
Right,
and
right.
like these kids that can't fight at all. They just like swing for the fences, and then they like punch one, and he falls and hits his head, and then like starts seizuring. And that's scary,
Right.
you get a
These
fucking
professionals, they just think, oh, he was a lucky punch. They-
yeah. Right, like I'll come back from that. Yeah,
You know what else causes seizures like that? I'll give you a hint. It costs
Stop.
$9.
just stop. All right, guys. I'm feeling like we're kind of hitting a lull here. Do we want to go ahead and wrap it up here?
Yeah, we're probably about that time, right?
Yeah, we're about 50 minutes in.
All
on
right,
the
let's
second
wrap
part
it
here,
up
so-
like Dad should have before he had you.
Yeah. Wait.
Well, with that in mind, we always thought we'd have children, of course, and we had
this
Blake.
is his favorite.
We had Blake, and we go, we're going to have to try again, and so we had Dylan, and we said we better just stop.
Well, Dad, Eric, it was great having you on here. I hope you enjoyed it as much as we did.
I did my first podcast.
Yeah,
It was great.
After our first run, maybe we can do it again sometime when you're back
Oh,
for another visit.
I'll definitely like to do that.
Yeah, next time you're in town,
Yeah.
you're welcome to stop by. And if you're here on a Friday
Now
night,
that we
or-
finally broke the ice with a guest,
Right?
we like really. We
well,
were
now
just
it's
like,
gonna open the floodgates. Like, hey, you got someone other than Dylan. Now, can I come on?
Oh,
Right.
Skylar's gonna bust our ass for this
Yeah, he
one.
will.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, he is. All right, Blake, we're gonna let you take it from here.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening this week. It was fun to have a special guest on for the first time. Check us out on all of our socials, especially YouTube. We'll see you next week. Thanks for listening.